What's up, friends? This is Jazz bringing you, yes, the Sims 4 Island Living Overview. Finally, I know. Well, actually, this will double as an Island Living Overview, plus a Sims Let's Talk. It was a long time, guys. I apologize deeply. But a lot of stuff was going on. I was working with my other Let's Plays and going to work and everything. Yeah, despite me only working 2 days a week, by the time I'm done of that, I'm a little tired. Like, emotionally, like, whatever, like, what is it, mentally? Not so much physically, but it all kind of, like, wears down. So I'm trying to really work on all these things. Like, you know what, since it's going to be uploaded earlier than some of my Let's Plays, you guys are probably wondering, where's the top 6 South Park list? Or, you know, least favorite South Park list. I do, guys, I promise you I plan on doing it. Right now, it's not at the top of my priority, especially after what happened with my favorites list. A few of you guys, like the N-Man64, or Gin Toki, particularly, have my official list, like my first attempt at it, where even my second attempt at it, after a while, did not work. But anyway, guys, I'm sorry, I am going through all this, so far the hair I actually really like. Honestly, it's kind of the island theme, like I would expect, and I especially like that mohawk looking one here. But anyway, guys, what I was saying is, the N-Man64 and Gin Toki, you two have gotten my first list, and thank you so much for the kind words about it and the advice and everything. As I said, I'm gonna have to, this time around, I'm gonna have to use pictures for this list. So it takes a lot more for me, because I'm not just going through footage. I have to go through each episode, get the correct pictures that I want, you know, to use in my video. Then once I'm done that, I have to actually edit my video together. It's a lot. I'm lucky I actually did the narrations already. Right, it's kind of hard. Like, there's a lot going on. It's a lot worse when it comes to doing it, not knowing what is going to go well and what isn't. Oh, at least I'm so glad the kids got that hair. The hair they got is perfect. But anyway, back to what I was saying about the South Park thing. It's funny, everything going on with the South Park list and everything has gotten me really thinking, too, about when I do my other videos, like countdowns and that. I know game countdowns aren't as bad, but if I'm using a video, if I was talking about another YouTube channel or something, that's not as bad either as, the TV shows, but I'm kind of nervous now of using a lot of video footage because I could put all that effort to having no one be able to see it. Now, obviously, guys, I don't care about the money because, for one, I can't earn money from this channel anyway, but if it's not even able to be seen, all the hard work that I did, it's just very, depressing in a way, and, there's a lot more words that I could be using in this situation, too. It's down-putting is another word I could use, disheartening, all those different words. I'm trying to think. Imagine if you were working at a firm or something, and you worked hard on this presentation, and suddenly the boss says, no, we can't use this. There's this, it goes against company policies. I'm sorry. Now, technically, the situation probably should be a little different in that situation because the boss, whoever, should have an outline of what's acceptable and what's not. But that's just the best example I could think about. You don't get any guidelines, and then suddenly you're told, well, that's not workable. You know, and it's really disheartening. You put your heart into something and no one's able to see it because, there's certain guidelines and rules and whatever. And the thing is, I'm being very careful now when I do videos, when I do countdowns or reviews, because I'm looking each episode I do and where it's taken from. For example, lucky for me, Rugrats isn't owned by Viacom. So if I ever wanted to do another Rugrats one, it wouldn't be as bad. I hope to God. But like things like SpongeBob, like there's a video that someone wanted me to do, and I'm still thinking of how to do it. But now that I noticed it's owned by Viacom, that's going to be a lot harder too. There's this. The thing is, and it may not just be Viacom either. There could be other companies that really don't care. Like they don't care about the free publicity or whatever, right? And ironically, to find out Viacom is an actual thing. I mean, at first I thought it was this stupid channel going along saying, "Nah, you can't do that." Turns out it's an actual, well, not a company, but they do have some rights to whatever they block. So I know, it's just really stupid. So as I said, like, I'm just kind of, like, I want to do the South Park list, and I really do plan on doing it, but I'm also very apprehensive as well, because of what went on with the thirst list, and not knowing how to correctly do it. Like, I want the video to be as best presentation as possible without using the video footage. I probably should be taking some lessons on how to edit, but it costs money. Even with that, what is it, that site that teaches classes, right? Even though it's cheap in a way compared to some, and you can get certain classes for free for so long, it's not worth the even risk for me, because I'm slower at learning. So that wouldn't give me enough time for, like, the free trial or whatever. So, like, I just really need to learn to, decent shirts. As I said, the kids, like, I gotta admit, the kids are having it pretty good here so far. Like, I'm impressed. I think even the toddlers have had it okay, which is a first time for everything. Now, so far, what do I think? I mean, I've just been in Create a Sim. I actually do like the stuff I'm seeing. It's given a whole bunch of CAS content. Well, we do got one thing for shirts for toddlers, but they do have some different styles, which I like. So, guys, eventually, hopefully, you will get the South Park countdown, the last South Park countdown. But will it be before the end of this year? I don't know. But I mean, I do plan, like, I have on vacation after I got 2 more days of work, and then I'm done till the 13th, I believe, of August. And I have some time. Perhaps maybe I'll use this time to be more motivated. Leave it to Jazz to say that, and we don't know how that's going to work out. But as I said, I have a lot of other plans for this channel, too. Like, I know I'm going heavy on my Let's Plays and working on them now, but when you think about it, I got a lot of tasting videos, gamers pickups. Like, I've been working on them for a while, because I have budget games that I had, by luck. And they could be good to me for a year to 2 years almost. The Let's Plays, yeah, I'm lucky now that I actually got a Let's Play until after Christmas, which for me, that's pretty good. Like, Jazz, that's pretty good. Keep in mind that these Let's Plays are weekly, not like two a week or whatever. They're weekly, so that's stretching it. So if I wanted a Let's Play, like, technically you only get one a week for several months. I mean, when you think about it, at least I'm not over spamming your inbox or anything. But I mean, some of you are probably thinking, Jazzy, why aren't you uploading? Like, it could really for your channel or whatever, because now they look at the algorithm and that. Like, I understand all that, but I'm the type of person that, how do I put it? I do love what I'm doing, but I am not that person that will spam. I'm not that person anymore. I mean, also, it is not good for my mental health at all. There was a time where I was so afraid of not getting constant uploads that you guys would forget me, and there was really a time I was like that. But you know what? I was stressing myself out. I would get to a point where I would be too worried to do so much, but then I'd have a complete burnout and not do anything for over a month or 2. And doing this the way I'm doing it now has given me a bit of a balance. I'm not as stressed about it anymore. I'm uploading at a decent enough rate. Not like, you're not at a point where you don't see me for an entire month or two. You at least see something once a week from me, and that's better than not seeing me. And oh, I love that. And it even has a blue, so it's one of those grass. Oh, that's even cuter. My gosh, like, I admit that I really like that. But anyway, back to what I was saying is, like, there was a time where I got so stressed that you would see me an entire month, which now at least you see me once or even twice times a week. So it's kind of a good compromise in a way. If I was, how do I put it? Now, if I had the opportunity to make money from these videos, would I accept it? Well, I wouldn't say no to it, but I wouldn't be the type of person that would try to push it. You kind of know what I mean? I'd be grateful for every cent I got. But I wouldn't even really over-worry about it so much, because I do have a way to get some money anyway at my job, so enough to kind of at least live on it a little bit. Now, as I said, is it, like, how do I put it? Is it, like, fabulously, like, being able to live on it? Oh my gosh, I like that. I think the toddlers are getting some love here, which I'm impressed by. I mean, I feel kind of bad for the male toddlers and even the male kids, but it's at least some form of toddlers getting some love. I mean, that's why a lot of people get custom content, especially for the kids and toddlers, because they don't get as much love with these packs as the adults and teens, and every other life state does. I mean, I know there's been like a kids pack and a toddler stuff pack, but they really should start focusing more now on adding stuff for all the ages, including toddlers. Or even if they had a pack that had more heavy for kids and maybe they could have another stuff pack or something that's dedicated to both the kids and toddlers, like the childhood stuff, or like not child, but it's hard to explain what I mean by that. If they took another pack to focus more on the younger age states than the older ones, and maybe you could still give the teens and older maybe something, or you know what, even because teens are still a kid, maybe you could still include a more teen-based stuff as well. Actually, for example, there was Sims 2, I think they had teen-style stuff. And it was, I mean, if you wanted to, since teens, everything that goes for teens goes for every other older stage too, I guess you could include it, but for everyone else. But I'm just trying to think of an example. At least I admit I'm happy that the kids and toddlers got some love here. Again, it would have been nice if they had more male focus stuff as well. But you know what, technically, since the new rule means that a male can wear a dress, it doesn't matter as much anymore. And I'm glad that option was given, because if you wanted to play through a storyline that one gender wanted to wear the other clothes and that, it would be wonderful. But let me see, oh wow, they got some love. The boys got some love here. So far I'm liking this. Okay, let me see. Okay, we got a few things here for the toddlers as well, which I love. The swimsuit, I just love the little yellow one. I like that one too. I love the little, two-piece there. Although I will admit I'm a little disappointed by the fact that boys don't have as much representation and toddler in the, full wear category. I mean, I suppose the longer jumpsuit, the one that you saw before, could be good for both. I don't know. I like those shoes, though. I think they got pretty good shoes here. And I also really like the the little fins. Like, I love, or the little, you know, snorkeling shoes. Oh, I admit, I'm impressed. Got some for the kids, too. Key. So, do they have anything for the toddlers? Nope, they're out of luck there. Oh, well, they did pretty well otherwise. Let's look at the accessories. I gotta admit, though, as I said so far, oh, wow. I admit, I'm impressed. I actually really like the little, I actually got something similar, but okay, it's not as nice looking, but I went to a prom I love that, but I went to a prom in 2018, and we got a little hula, like, you know, thing, although it's not as profound, like, it's not made of flowers or anything, so it doesn't stand out as well as these ones do. There's more detail in those in the other, but the other is just the plastic one, you know, so it isn't as, like, important. It was quickly gotten. But yeah, speaking of prom, I actually went to my prom again this year, though it didn't end as well for me. I'm okay. Nothing serious did happen that way. Well, let's say I spent a little time in the bathroom and went home. So, it wasn't as good this year, but I stayed for about an hour and a half, and for me that was okay. Like, there was only an hour left anyway. So I enjoyed a little bit of time there. Let's see what we have for accessories here. Now we got the snorkel in the flowers, which I love. Now we're gonna have to, back out? But I know it was, oh well, it's not bad either. I really like the fact it got kind of and it's stylish too, so that could be good for pants. But anyway, what was I going to say? Jeez. Oh, now I remember. I know it was late, this overview, but as I said, I had to wait until I could afford it, which it's a lot of money. That's one downside. Oh, we got little water wings. Oh, it's so cute. I mean, I love that. I love the little water wings. Kind of reminds me of The Lion King. Hide up in ya. I find that adorable. Speaking of, have any of you guys seen the new Lion King? I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if I want to after hearing some of those reviews and that of it. But, maybe I'll wait and see it other ways. I mean, as I said, like, I don't know if it's just nostalgia-filled goggles people don't like some of the new Lion King. I don't know. Like, because you know the saying sometimes when people are like, oh, well, it's not what I remember, so I don't like it. But, it's weird. Weird. But, I mean, as a lot of the live-action Disney movies just, to me, didn't seem as well. Now, okay, guys, I apologize. I mean, like, the live-action remakes of things that were already animated. Mary Poppins, I actually really enjoyed. I meant the original. I mean, I never actually watched The Return of Mary Poppins yet, but I heard some bad things about it. So, I mean, maybe I'll give it a chance. I think I saw it on Netflix. Maybe I'll give it a shot, but the original Mary Poppins just, like, I watched it recently, actually. I watched it when I was a kid, too, but I rewatched it recently, and my god, I see why people love it. I mean, it is very charming. It doesn't treat the child like they're an idiot. Like, it takes things slow and serious, which in some ways, people will say, oh, that's no good for kids nowadays. They wouldn't like it or wouldn't. I mean, I'm not saying there aren't kids that wouldn't, but some people might think, oh, that's not well enough for kids these days. And to be fair, I can see why they would say that, because, and I'm not saying there aren't kids out there that, alright, I'm showing off there's like one new the beach life aspiration. Also, there's two more, like, traits. Which one is child of the islands, and then there's child of the oceans. So, anyway, what I was saying is that I'm not saying there aren't kids that are very mature and like this type of stuff, but a lot of kids at this point nowadays tend to really like fast-paced things, not things that just slow down. And so I can understand why some people would say, oh, it's not really good for kids and this generation, but honestly, I think that they should give it a chance anyway, just to see like a piece of history. So, we're taking one of the families that has already been placed here just to show off this, like, the items and some of the other careers and that. I'll do the best I can to show you this stuff here. But anyway, yeah, as I said, like, most live-action Disney movies, like, the remakes especially, I just don't find as interesting. I mean, Mary Poppins, honestly, out of all the Disney movies, maybe next to The Lion King, I gotta rewatch, I met the original Lion King, I gotta rewatch it. Mary Poppins is my favorite. But to be fair, and I'm sorry, N-Man64, I haven't really watched as many Disney movies recently. Maybe when I was a child I watched everything like The Little Mermaid and that, but my memory is not so good. And I know a lot about The Little Mermaid, to a point where, I mean, I know it was based on, was it a book, a story from Hans Christian Andersen, was it? Or was it the Grimm's? I'm sorry, I don't know this. I'm gonna have to rewatch those John Solo origin stories. But I mean, and like last year at Christmas, I went to a play production of The Little Mermaid. So I do remember bits and pieces from like the Disney version of it. Like how certain things go. But I'm trying to think, the Lion King and Mary Poppins are the only ones that stand out to me. So, yeah, Disney has done respectable things, right? And it's just lately that they kind of lost their, maybe they lost their edge for a long time, but it's mostly, I love the older Disney, like, I can respect the older Disney stuff, like Bambi and Pinocchio and all that, and Lion King and Mary Poppins, right? But in the last 5 or 6 years, I mean, I'm not saying they haven't had good movies, but, like, they had Frozen and Moana, which were okay, but rest of them, sorry, N-Man64, I mean, I'm not a Disney expert like you are, and I'm sure in some ways you'll agree with me on this. As I said, like, I saw your Facebook review of the Lion King remake, and you gave it at least a B, I think, overall, so maybe it's worth checking out. But I suppose, again, nostalgia goggles on, like, it might just seem a little weird. Because I'm also the type of person that mostly likes flashy things, like, and cartoony things in a way. So, I mean, like, for example, me being able to watch, like, reviews of live action people, and that is a miracle in itself. Like, how do I put it? If it doesn't have a logical meaning, like an educational meaning, I tend to like things more cartoony. But if it's something that is educational, like a review or something, or facts about things, then I like to see them more, live, like, real. So I'm the type of person that either likes it completely real or completely cartoony. Like, and it has to really depend on the situation. Like, if it's something like educational and that, I just prefer it. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's really kind of hard to explain. I kind of just see things one way or the other. Like, it's never gray. For me, it's kind of black and white, like. Yeah, some of you may know what I mean, and some of you may be, Chaz, you're crazy. And you know what, it wouldn't be the first time. Like, heck, half the time I try to explain things like that to my aunt, we're just lucky that she loves me. I mean, I like, there's that's a fishing. I kind of remember this in Story of Season Trio of Towns, the catching the fishing trap. Aw, too bad. You must need something a lot of, water or whatever? Heck, you can't even put a skidoo there. Oh well, I guess the area that my family here is living is in a weird slanted lot or something. Oh, we can get married there. That is so cool. I said, I'm not much of a story person, but I could see how that could be very useful. And they have the fire pit, I think. So I could see a lot of story opportunities with this stuff here. Like, I actually really liked the idea, and especially how this island is a livable area. Like, it's not like a vacation area. It's a livable town or island. So there's plenty of story ideas for people who do this. I'm the type of person that, again, I'm not good. Oh, I love that a lot. That rainbow chair, and plus it has just a blue version. But a slice of pizza, gosh darn it. You know the place to my heart. Too bad there's no hamburger. But a pizza, I guess, is more island themed. You can have, like, Hawaiian and all that. But gosh, if they had a big float, and a whale too, but if they had a big floating hamburger, I would love that. Guys, CC makers, make that happen. I'm sorry. I know I should focus on this pack rather than the CC stuff, but, well, we got a new, swings. But anyway, what was I going to say? Jeez, forget what I was going to say now. Oh, now I remember what I was going to say. I am not a story person. I'm not a story. I am a story person, but I'm a story person in the way that I like to hear stories and all that, and read stories, but I'm not a story person in the fact that I'm not good at making them. Okay, that's kind of a wrong way of putting it. I can sometimes make stories, but I'm not very imaginative. Like, any story I make, I like to record on my iPhone, it's just my own personal stories, and them often are very one-sided. It's always almost the same characters over and over. And if I do try to make a new character, it doesn't last long because I forget the name of the character and what I would visualize them as. I'm not a good visual person. I can't visualize things easy, and I need something right in front of me in order to replicate it or to even think about it. Like, an apple is an apple, so maybe I could visualize an apple, but if they wanted if they were trying to describe me a certain type of apple or me to visualize the type of apple, I would not be able to do that. And I'm dead serious. I'm that blank. Sometimes I would close my eyes and try to visualize a beach or something, and all I see is the black background and almost crickets. Maybe the voice of cricket, it's nothing. My mind is that boring. And you're probably thinking, why do you like doing art so much then? It's relaxing, guys. I do enjoy doing that. Half the time I'm not very good at it unless I have something visual in front of me. But if I'm just painting with colors and that, I love that. Like, I think a coloring book would be ideal for me, honestly. But when you think about it, I guess you could work with your fine motor skills coloring and staying within the line, but besides that, there's really no educational value for me at this point with coloring. I mean, I suppose I could always try to find a color by number type of book. I mean, I think that's what they call it. Like, there was a game that I got that would do that. Was it Steam? Yeah, you could make pictures, like, with the numbers and that. It was really, oh, wait, no, was it on the Switch? No, I think it was Steam, which the good one was Steam. I'm just trying to remember. But my point being is I'm better at copying than I am at, when I say copying, I don't mean I tried to what is it? What's the word for it? When you copy someone else's work. Plagiarize. I don't try to plagiarize things. When I say copy, I mean, like, I would never do something and claim it as my own. But I'm better at copying, like, visual things than at thinking of it and creating it in my mind myself. Like, I at one point was obsessed with Twilight, as some of you know. And I mean, that I don't like it at all now. And there was a time where I was trying to make my own story, the fan fiction type of thing, and I thought I was being as creative as I could, but it was still copying Twilight. There was different names and certain behaviors were different, but I could never pass that off as my own, like, if I ever wanted to. And that's the thing, it wasn't that I was purposely trying to do something like that. It's just I was in my own little world, and I mean, I was showing it to some of my friends, and I guess I could get in trouble even for that. I wasn't doing it on a intentional note, right? So I'm the type of person that now completely understands plagiarizing, but back then I did to a degree, but I didn't fully understand it. And that's when I was like, what? I was 18, and keep in mind, it was an 18-year-old with a disability. So I wasn't mentally, at that time, 18. I may have been maybe 14, maybe a little older than that. I don't know if I would even consider myself a little older than that, because I don't know how old you have to be to understand the ramifications of what I was doing or not. But I mean, my friend who also had a disability, but then again, in some ways, she was more mature than I was in understanding certain rules. I mean, she was a big reader herself. She was a big reader. Me, at that time, I really wasn't that big of a reader at all. I read Twilight and maybe some other books that were similar, but I mean, okay, I was a tad of a bigger reader back then than I am now, where I would read a little more variety, but she was still the one that knew correct grammar. We'll say she was advanced in English in some ways. So I don't know if she would read, and she would understand the word plagiarizing and the rules that go with it. So in that way, she was more mature than me and still is to this day. I mean, I'm at a point now where I can understand. Yeah, sorry about that. But anyway, in some ways, I can understand that now. I mean, I would know if I'm doing something, I'm just doing it for myself. And if I did anything, I would at least put it on fan fiction. If I put it off as fan fiction, I guess that is alright. Strange enough. I don't know how, they do, when you think about it. I mean, I suppose the difference with those who do fan fiction is that they admit that the owners are this and this is just for fun, and they use the characters and not try to put it off as their own, so there is a bit of a difference there. Strange enough. Also, another strange thought. Okay, I know there wasn't vampires and everything, but this one person made 50 Shades of Grey. We all know that. And yet it was heavily inspired by Twilight. Almost to a T minus the... Okay, there were differences, yes. I mean, I never read it, but people would say it's pretty much copying Twilight. It's a Twilight fan fiction, almost. I think that's what it was even meant to be. And they ended up selling it. And I think even Stephenie Meyer didn't do anything about it. I mean, I suppose it was kind of just different enough to not really, for her to not really care. And I mean, I don't think she would want to try to claim anything of that type of content anyway. But I mean, I suppose with me, when I did those stories before, it was about vampires, and they has very similar premises, so I can understand that would not be quite appropriate. I mean, I probably should have just kind of saved it for myself. I didn't try to sell it or anything. Don't get me wrong. In fact, I was just showing my friends, and even that was wrong. I mean, I don't even quite understand at that point. Like, it's hard to explain what I mean. Like, you know, have you ever did something almost very impressive, and you just want to show your friends, and you find out, oh, well, it's good and all, but it's you're completely copying her work. And I'm not saying I didn't copy it to a degree. Like, I kind of knew, and I kind of understood, and I kind of didn't, right? And I wasn't meaning for anything to really come from it. So, and as I said, I'm not saying that it was still right? I just didn't how a big deal could be made by just showing your friends. It's not like I'm saying, here, take this, whatever, like, it's all mine, or, oh, I made it myself. No. I was heavily inspired by Twilight. At a point, which, gosh, it's shameful to admit now. Okay, I can't say any consolation, like, honestly, like, how do I put this? I still think my character based was more likable than Bella Swan, or anything. I mean, okay, I know there's people who still really love Twilight and relate to Bella, and, you know what, to each your own, but, kids, I'm sorry, she's one of those, oh, yeah, I love that little, oops, I love how they can do sandcastles now. And yeah, as I said, it was part of a Sims Let's Talk too, so. But yeah, there's like new jobs, there's new little activities, like they can build a sandcastle. Toddlers can do that too, and that ups their imagination. So that's great. And I can't even tell what gender that toddler is. I'm sorry, it does kind of drive me nuts, but not enough to really care, but I think it's female. Now I know you're like, Jazzy, long hair, so you think it's female. I mean, this guy has long hair, but he's male. But the style is definitely male. I mean, it's hard to explain how I view that. But I think the name is what gives the gender away. Yes, it's a unique name. It's more of an island-given name, but it sounds more feminine. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry using the term feminine, but I mean, that's how some of them use it. Oh, really good. Okay, that kind of looks weird. Phallic, kind of, in some ways. But I gotta admit, a toddler doing this is quite amazing. He's doing it all by himself. Shouldn't judge still. I gotta admit how funny it is that the teenager, which is the guy that was on the boat with the sunscreen, looks older than the actual adult in the house. Or the young adult in the house. I'm sorry, it's funny how one thing I wish they do, I'm trying to think of how to put it. I don't know if they've done it in The Sims 3 so much as The Sims 2, but I just wish that they would kind of maybe change the teenagers a little bit to define the difference between them and young adults. Adults are kind of defined at a point, and elders will obviously, the difference with elders. But, yeah, it just looks so weird when the teen looks the same as a young adult. So I'm trying to remember what I'm doing at this point. Adding someone new to the family. So I'm just trying to do some more, like get some more job options, you know, because I want to show off. Does it show off the other jobs as much as I can? And sorry, there were a few things that I did forget to edit out, like that Facebook notification and just there, but I'm at a point now where, you know what, that's 2 times in a 53-minute video. Well then, I do care, guys. I mean, I'm just at a point too where I'm like, because I've had a lot worse things go wrong with these videos than that. So we got fitness. Oh, recently we've had a new update too. It was since I recorded this footage. There's a new update for The Sims 4. Interesting. The background and the logo and the menu and the new story CAS option. How do I feel about it? It's not awful. I mean, it's an interesting way to make a random sim appear, but, I mean, it's really only good if you're going through a story, and sometimes you don't even know what you're going to end up with. I mean, you have the option to completely skip it, though, which I praise, that they didn't just make this thing that was a necessity. So, I mean, like, I can live with it. But so far, like, this pack, I am impressed by it. It has, like, a whole new world there. Well, island, but they call it a world. We have some decent new items. Like, in both, well, items are technically, clothes are definitely technically items, but they're not. We have decent build and buy options, which also in the new update, they have this, 1,000 new items. You need to type certain words after checked it, remember, but if you, like, items that were previously only available, like, to those who made the world, that were in the overworld. So now you can use it to make your own area on that. So that was in the update. But anyway, in this pack, they have a lot new build and buy options, which I love. Oh, hello, island. Welcome, wagon. Wow, we went through this whole time, and that just started now. Well, I hear that the welcome wagon in this world is absolutely different. I mean, I'm still going off and just not going with it because there's things that I want to do, but you get a different item besides that fruitcake. You get some type of drink that's native to this island. Also interesting about, I don't think we'll get it on here, but if there's a fire in your house on this island, people will go and put it out for you. They'll just run to your house and suddenly help you extinguish it, which I think sounds adorable. I'm so glad that the people are so nice there. They're just very welcome there. I don't think they even make the biggest deal when I cancel out their event. I mean, they're kind of a little upset you lose a friendship. They're like, well, hopefully to see you next time. Like, not a real negative way of putting it. I mean, this, honestly, it took me so long to find a place to fish here. It's hard to tell sometimes. But there's a fisherman career now, which is awesome. Like, your fishing skills can be put to use. I mean, I admit, I'm actually glad how The Sims 4 has grown. It has grown quite a bit and has established itself a decent amount too. And I can just picture me finally getting like, oh, I'm really enjoying it. Now we announce The Sims 5. Literally, if they just did that, I'd be F it all. I'm sticking with The Sims 4 or Sims 2 to 4. Okay, I'm not saying that when The Sims 5 comes out, it's not going to be good. But honestly, guys, I'm trying to think literally in general how much money I spent on this Sims 4 alone. It literally, I'm trying to think. When I got The Sims 2 first, then The Sims 3 because it was on sale. And I played that for a while because my aunt would not for the life of me let me get The Sims 4 right away. Because when we walked in, the base set was $79 or something bucks. And I can't blame her. She's like, nope. No. She refused. Then one of my cousins called. Oh, let me see. Oh, he got a goldfish. Then my cousin called saying that The Sims 4 was on sale for $34 bucks. I brought it up by my aunt again. She said, you know what? Okay, get it. It's drastically reduced. She thought it was a fair price. And since the fact that it may not happen again, she let me get it. To find out so many years later, which means was recently, that they would eventually put it for free for certain situations. But she didn't think at the time the price wouldn't have come again. So she said, you know what? While we can afford it, get it. And that was just $34 for the first start of it. And it took me a while to actually collect them, but I took my time and only got what I really thought was necessary at the time. But then I started doing the overviews. I bought the rest. There was only a few I didn't have, so my aunt let me buy them, like the stuff packs. So I got each pack when I could afford it. And since I got them all at that point and caught up, I just had to get them when I could. So I spent easily, I'm really gonna have to check the normal prices of them and how much I probably easily spent on each of those packs. Now keep in mind the price has risen for Canada lately, so it just, how do I explain it? It just had to cost me at least $400, $300 easily, I think. Maybe $250 or something. I don't know. I'm trying to remember because nowadays the packs were like $50 to $60 for the big ones alone. I don't know. I'm going to have to double check. Maybe I might do a video on it, just a little quick update video, and I'm going to look at the prices of them now. And maybe, I can't remember what I got them for. So I'll say if I were to buy them today at the prices they are, how much would cost me. So I spent a lot of money on this series, The Sims 4 as it is. I mean, my aunt's right. I'm wasting my money on games. But gosh, this series, is it worth it to spend all that money? I don't know. I honestly don't know if it is really worth it, but as I said, like, I've been doing this overview series for a year or two now, at least. Gosh, by the time this whole series is over, I'm going to be bankrupt, aren't I? Yeah, it took me a while to figure out how to find the diving knife. Yeah, you need to be able to dive. It actually turns out that I didn't realize it, but I had a mermaid in my household. She's a mermaid. That's one of the biggest draws to this pack, is the new mermaid occult. Which, finally, after what? In 2 years, we get a new occult. Yeah, guys, almost 2 years. A little better than 2 years since we got a new occult. We already had aliens at the beginning. Then 2017 we got vampires. About time we got a new occult. Honestly though, guys, I hope they don't go as long without getting another occult. I swear, if by the end of this series they don't have werewolves, I'm so done. Like, werewolves were so popular in the other two series. I think at least one of them in Sims 3. And they came together. Well, vampires were in Late Night, I believe, or another one. But the real vampires and werewolves were, and even fairies and that, were all in Supernatural. And now they're getting their own pack for each occult. I'm sorry, it just kind of is pathetic. But I hope at least when they release werewolves or whatever, I heard there's supposed to be a new Making Magic or some type of magic pack coming. I hope that it isn't just witches or wizards. I swear. Like, okay, maybe I can understand them not having werewolves in that pack, because it's really, werewolves are weird, they're mystical, but they're not magic. But I hope they at least have fairies in the magic pack, because they have magic, they're just a different type, they're more of a good than the witches. So let's hope they have it in that pack. I hope they have witches and fairies, witches, wizards, and fairies. Now, if they have werewolves too, that would be amazing. But let's just hope that at least they have more that they don't have fairies as their own pack. That's all I'm saying. Now, as of now, I'm glad we have a new occult when it comes to Sims 4 now. I don't know how it's going to work out with, like, if we have vampires and they have mermaids, like, I don't know, like, if completely, I guess it would be one or the other. Whether it's a vampire or a mermaid. It's too bad, though, those things. Too bad they haven't found a way to mix occults yet. I don't think they have even done that in The Sims 3. Like, if they ever have a Sims 5, which I'm pretty sure if it keeps going on they will, let's hope they learn these type of things. How to, you know, make it work that way. But so far, it's almost time for me to end this overview. So far, in my opinion, I really did enjoy this game. Or I really do enjoy this expansion, but was it worth the $60 I spent? Hell no. Guys, you should have given this for at least $30. It would have, for what we got, it wasn't worth the full price. I probably should have waited till it was on sale, but who knows when that's going to happen. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this overview, give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel and like what you see, please subscribe. It helps this channel a lot. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so you'll know when new videos are coming out. And I will see you guys in my next video.